But here we are in Vegas 11. The first thing that, well, this was introduced in Vegas 10 was this little navigation bar. Personally, I think this is like a total waste of time. The reason is the video preview is too small, especially if you're on like a small screen like I am. I think it sort of messes everything up. So that's the first problem that I think's wrong with Vegas. There are a couple of good features like this new track grouping. So if you select two tracks by hitting Control and you click this, which is group selected tracks, it'll group the tracks together. And you can of course set a name. So I'll just call that video. So you can actually hide the current tracks like that. The next thing is the video effects. Now, they've all been organized into folders in Vegas 11, which I can see why they've done it, but I think it makes everything look too cluttered. But it is good, like if you're adding these effects to tracks. So for example, the color corrector. If you add that, it'll actually add it to both the tracks. Now this thing here, I don't sort of understand. It's, if you look, these two tabs up here, you've got parameters and custom. They both do exactly the same thing. And I don't seem to understand why you've got, you know, two controls doing the same thing. So that sort of sucks. And to animate things, unlike previous versions of Vegas, you've got to click these stopwatch buttons. So you click them, and you've got this little menu which appears, so you can keyframe things. So if you want to change the color, it sort of appears just like that, and you can of course change the keyframes as you normally would. So that's, you know, a new feature. I don't think that is very good because I'm used to sort of, well, automatically creating keyframes. So yeah. Now the next thing are the new Boris effects plugins. I think this comes with all versions of Vegas 11, and you get like a 14-day trial. And of course it comes with motion tracking and sort of an advanced chroma key. So if I add the chroma key to, I'll just add it to this. You can sort of see this looks, in my opinion, a bit like key light. So I haven't actually had a proper play around with this yet, but it looks pretty good. As you can see on this, I've got sort of one effect on here, and if I was to click this button, remove selected plugin, it'll of course remove it, and you get the event pan crop window coming up. Now, I think this is a bit annoying because in previous versions, you click that and the whole window closes, but now you get this event pan crop up, which just basically makes it irritating because you've got to close another window. So that also sucks. But apart from that, everything else looks pretty cool. For example, you've got this real-time render, which enables you to just render the audio in, of course, real time. So if I just play that, you probably can't hear it, but it's actually playing the audio now. And that'll render the whole timeline in real time. But it only seems to render in the .wav format. I don't know why. But yeah. The next thing is the render screen. So you click render as, and this is the new screen in Vegas 11. And it is pretty good because you can actually select your favorites, the favorite render settings. So I've got all mine here. And to create them, all you would do is select the format you want and click this little star icon. And if you check this box, it will appear. And you can uncheck them there, and it'll disappear. Everything's pretty much the same. You just select what render setting you want, hit render, and then it'll start. So that's pretty much that. There are a couple of extra transitions. I'm trying to find it. It's somewhere here. I think it's called Star, but I can't seem to find it. Oh dear. Anyway, there are a couple of extra transitions. The effects are pretty much the same, apart from these burst effects, which you get a 14-day trial, I think. I don't know how much the burst effects package actually is, but I'll have a look. Apart from that, everything's pretty much the same. Apart from this new animated text feature, it sort of combines the prototype titler in just standard text. For example, you've got this earthquake effect here. You can add that on, and if you play this, you can sort of see you've got sort of an earthquake effect. You still got the prototype titler as you normally do, but I never seem to use that. And if you do want to edit the text, if you click on it, you can actually resize it in the video preview window. That'll make things a bit easier when you do come to resize it, so you don't have to use the font size or the event pan crop window. So yeah. Now you've also got this column view. You can actually have a single column, double column, or triple column. And this is useful, for example, if you select everything here, you can get more items on screen, like there. Especially, like I say, if you've got a smaller screen, the bottom of it sometimes gets cut off. So that's quite useful. And as you know, by default, whenever you create any sort of text or a solid color, it'll the default time will be about 10 seconds. Now, if you want to extend the time, as you know, this sort of starts to jump when you scrub through the timeline. So there's a button up here that says match event length. If you click that, then it'll basically change this bit of media to the event length. So yeah, that's about it. Yep.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. Overall, would you say it's worth, what is it, $600?
About that, yeah.
Is it worth paying that? Or is it $150 upgrade from 10?
Personally, I don't think it's worth the money. There's only a couple of extra features, and most of them were available in 10 anyway.
Yeah. I know a lot of the features seem to be aimed at After Effects and the Adobe system, you know, with the stopwatches and the being able to adjust things in the, like you say, you can adjust the text size and things in the preview window. Do you like that? I mean, have you used After Effects before?
Yeah, it does make, I mean, resizing the text a lot easier, so you don't have to go to so many, you know, menus. It is good.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, Premiere. The render screen, I think, looks a lot like Adobe Premiere. They seem to make it look a lot similar.
But overall, you wouldn't rush out and spend $150 on an upgrade or $600 on a new version.
I don't think it's worth the money. There's not that many, you know, good features. Like last time for Vegas 10, they introduced 3D editing, which I suppose could help some people.
Yeah.
So I would have upgraded, you know, last year. But yeah.
You don't think it's worth the upgrade this time?
No.
And what's this about the extra the Boris effects only being a 14-day trial? That's...
Yeah. Well, from what I've seen, it's only a 14-day trial. That might be because, you know, it's a free version. But you seem to only get a 14-day trial of all the Boris effects plugins. I don't understand why.
Seems a bit daft, really, to you know, you're going to spend $600 or what the equivalent is in pounds on a software package, and then you open it up and you have to spend more money to get the effects.
Exactly. I mean, you pay £200-300 more. You've got Adobe Premiere or After Effects, which is a lot better.
CS5, haven't you? CS 5.5.